Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking the code on the world of hackers. And we're going to go way beyond that simple good versus evil story to really understand the different motivations, the methods, and, the moral codes that define all these different digital figures. So let's just start with a quick thought experiment. When I say the word hacker, what's the very first image that pops into your head? Just take a second and picture it. Yeah, for most of us, it's probably something like this, right? Some shadowy figure in a hoodie, hunched over a keyboard in a dark room, with all that green code scrolling down the screen. The classic movie cybercriminal, the digital boogeyman. Well, that stereotype, it actually has a name in the cybersecurity world, the black hat hacker. These guys are basically the reason we have passwords for everything. Okay, let's really dive into this. Black hats are pretty much exactly what they sound like. They are the villains of the digital world. Their actions are totally unauthorized, they're illegal, and they're designed to hurt people or companies for their own personal gain. And the stuff they do, oh man, their resume is like a checklist of all our worst cyber nightmares. They're the ones behind those huge ransomware attacks that can shut down entire hospitals, the data breaches that leak all your personal info, and yeah, the malware that infects your computer. But what truly defines a black hat is their motivation. It is almost always selfish and just destructive. Whether they're chasing money, trying to get some kind of revenge, or maybe just causing chaos for fun, their intent is purely malicious. And look, this isn't just theoretical stuff. I mean, think about the global chaos that the WannaCry ransomware caused, or that massive personal data leak from the Equifax breach. These are huge, real-world examples of the incredible damage black hat hackers can do to all of us. But what if I told you that some hackers are actually the good guys, that they're the ones on the front lines fighting to protect us? Okay, let's flip the script and look at the complete opposite of a black hat. So meet the white hat hackers. These are the heroes of cybersecurity. They're often hired by companies to use their hacking skills for good, to find security weaknesses before the criminals can get to them. So how do they actually operate? Well, they do something called penetration testing, which is basically a simulated attack on a company's systems, but with full permission, of course. Their whole goal is to find the cracks in the digital armor before the bad guys do. Their entire purpose is defensive. They're not in it to steal or destroy. They're trying to build stronger digital walls and more secure systems so that everyone's data stays safe. And this comparison, it just perfectly captures the difference. I mean, it all boils down to two really simple things: permission and intent. One acts illegally for their own selfish gain. The other works legally for the greater good. Simple as that. So we've got the black and the white, right? The good guys and the bad guys. But, like most things in life, it's not always that simple. There's this huge, fascinating, and pretty complicated space right in the middle. And this is the world of the gray hat hacker. You can think of them as kind of like digital vigilantes, or maybe explorers. They operate without permission, which is illegal, but they don't usually have malicious intentions. Their process is, well, it's a little like someone picking the lock on your front door, walking inside just to show you how weak your lock is, and then leaving you a note on the table about it. And, sometimes they might even leave an invoice for their services. So you see, they exist in this really strange legal and ethical limbo. What they're doing isn't authorized, so it's not lawful. But their goal isn't to cause damage, and that's what separates them from the black hats. It is a very, very murky area. All right, so there's one last type of hacker we need to talk about. This is one whose motivations aren't about money or ego, but all about ideology. A hacktivist, and as the name kind of suggests, it's just a mashup of hacker and activist. These are basically digital protesters. They use their hacking skills as their main tool to spread a message or fight for a cause they really believe in. Their actions are all designed to be disruptive, to draw as much public attention as they possibly can. This can be anything from defacing a government website with a political message to leaking secret documents to expose what they see as corruption. And here's what really sets them apart: their motivation. They are driven by their beliefs, not by trying to make money. Their whole goal is to make a statement, to protest a policy, promote a cause, or maybe even get some digital revenge against a group they think is corrupt.
So there you have it. In just a few minutes, we've gone from that simple, one-dimensional stereotype of a hacker to a much richer, more complex spectrum of identities. Let's just put it all together real quick. This table just lays it all out so clearly. You've got the criminal black hats on one end, driven purely by personal gain. On the complete other side, you have the protective white hats, who work legally. And then in the middle, you have the ambiguous gray hats and the ideologically driven hacktivists. And that brings us to our final thought. As technology keeps blurring the lines between what's personal, what's corporate, and what's national security, our definitions of right, wrong, and for the greater good, well, they're going to be constantly challenged. The hacker spectrum isn't just a technical classification. It's really a reflection of the super complex moral questions of our digital age.